So in this video, we're going to talk about DNA and RNA. DNA stands for deoxyribonucleic acid, and RNA stands for ribonucleic acid. And so we're going to talk about those. Nucleic acids are made up of these core structures called nucleotides. And a nucleotide is made up of a phosphate group, a nitrogenous containing base, which we'll talk about in a moment, and then a pentose sugar. A pentose sugar is a 5-carbon sugar. We talked about carbohydrates. We talked about they were made up of monosaccharides like glucose, fructose, galactose. Those were 6-carbon sugars. In the nucleic acids, we're going to have these 5-carbon sugars. Now, what are these nitrogenous bases? You have adenine, guanine, cytosine, and thymine are the 4 nitrogenous bases for DNA. And then you have, well, let's talk about DNA. So we have those 4 bases in DNA. DNA is also a double-stranded, so there's 2 strands, okay, of these nucleotides. And so you've got this double helical strand. Helical kind of goes in a coil shape, and this double helical strand, and between the strands, it's actually hydrogen bonds. And so that's your structure of your DNA. It has the ability to replicate itself, and that's a detail that would be covered in another class. Okay. But as far as the DNA, that's kind of the structural components. Now, the RNA, you have a couple different types of RNA. You have messenger RNA, transfer RNA, and ribosomal RNA. And so we have different types of RNA. But essentially with the RNA, you're going to have 3 of the same bases. So you're going to have adenine, guanine, and cytosine. But instead of having thymine, you're going to have something called uracil. Okay? And so when we talk about this in another chapter, those base pairs are going to match up. And if we're talking about DNA, the A is always going to match with T. So the adenine is always going to match with thymine, and the cytosine is always going to match with guanine. And so you can always match those up. If you have one strand, you can match up the other strand. Okay. Also, when we're talking about unstranding, and then we're going to start, going through this process with transferring the information. So we have translation and transcription again for another class. But what's going to happen is we're going to use that strand and we're going to match it up with an RNA. Now we said RNA does not have thymine; it has uracil. Okay, and so when we look at matching for RNA, the cytosine still matches with the guanine. Okay, but adenine now is going to match with uracil, so the A matches with the U instead of the A matching with the T, because again, RNA doesn't have T. And so that's how we're going to match up those base pairs for RNA. Okay, I'll probably cover something else in a future video, but that gives you the basic. Oh, and by the way, RNA is a single strand, and so keep that in mind as well. So that's some basics for you, some structural basics. If you have any questions, let me know. Stay strong. I'll see you next time.